Alright, YouTube, this your boy Trucker. We're trucking it like always, trying to make this money, trying to make this dope. But before we get into it, remember to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell below so you know when I come out with new videos on my black top journey. So guys, it's been a while. It's been about a month, and I've been trying to figure out a way to express what happened to me. And it's disappointing. I spent 5 years at Prime, and it really hurt because I felt like I found my home. And with most truck drivers, you know, they can relate. When they feel like they found their home in trucking, they don't want to leave. But this will be a part, maybe one, maybe 2 or 3 part series. I don't know yet. Just depends on how it goes. So people talk about horror stories, and they act like they don't happen, or people say, oh, that doesn't happen, this doesn't happen. Well, I'm telling you right now, it does happen. And when I tell you it hurts on a whole different level that surpasses all understanding. So I'll pretty much tell you what happened. So I want to say my last 2 months that I was at Prime was not easy. It was get a check, not get a check. Positive, be negative. And some people will say, did you talk to your fleet manager? Did you do all these other things? And I did. And the message I always got back was, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And at some point, sorries just don't cut it anymore. And it got to the point where I made maybe $3,000 for the whole month. And it wasn't nothing that I did. It was nothing that I could say Prime did. I can't even say my fleet manager did it. It just got disappointing. Like, it went from being okay to just disappointing. And the straw that broke the camel's back, and I'll maybe do this in 2 videos or maybe 3 videos, I don't know. I had a week that I was out, and I talked to my homeboy Freight Skater about this, and we went over it. And he's like, he was pretty much encouraging me to stay, and And the 1 week, it was a whole month. Mind you guys, I didn't take any home time. I didn't have any breakdowns. I just was running the loads that they gave me because I knew freight was getting bad. I just ran. And the second to last month, I ran all week, came to payday, and I was negative $500. They didn't put a lot of, I think they put $3,000 on my truck, and I was negative like $500. So I didn't go home, didn't have any breakdowns. I was just negative $500. That was 1 week. So I was like, all right, we have it in our mind. It's going to get better next week. It's going to be better next week. The following week comes around. I make $1,000, but it's only like $600 because I was negative the week before. So I'm like, okay. So the next week it's like $500. I'm like, all right. So go into the following week. Run. I'm negative again. And I'm like, okay, I've only made $500. This is 3 weeks in. And I'm like, all right. So I make that conversation with the fleet manager. And I'm like, yo, I need more revenue. Like, I can't survive off of $500 bi-weekly. I'm out here. I'm not going home. I'm not taking any home time. I'm not having any breakdowns. I'm running the loads that you're giving me. And it's like, yeah, I know, man, I'm sorry, this is all we have. And like everybody online has been talking about how loads are a day out, or they're giving you a whole bunch of time to do whatever. Now, mind you, I try to be proactive. I try to get to my shippers or receivers early. I try to, do whatever. I'm calling, doing everything that I need to do as a driver to make sure that I take care of my responsibilities. So, the end of that month, I think I ended off making another $1,000, and when you combined it, I only made like $3,000 because I was negative at the end of the month. So at the end of that month, I send a message to my fleet manager, and I'm like, look, man, I really value being here at Prime, but I can't keep on running these loads and I'm not making anything. I can't be taking advances to try to take care of bills for this week because you're not giving me loads. I'm not going home. I'm doing everything that you asked me to do. I have to be able to make money. Have this nice truck, can't make no money. So the next month comes around, and I sent that message to him, and I'm like, the first week, you're talking about Memorial Day, and I get a load from Georgia. Now, mind you, I didn't go home. He gave me a load to Georgia. Got a chance to slide through the house and see the wife and kid. I haven't been home for months at this point. Gives me a load going to Arkansas, paying $800. So I take the load. I deliver the load, but I get there, and at this Walmart, they want you to slide the tandems. Now, the trailer that I picked up was a preloaded trailer in Georgia. And I get there. I got there early, couldn't deliver. Sat to the next day, went to go deliver. And I get there. They asked me to slide my tandems. Slide my tandems back. Give me my door. Back into the door. And there's 2 pallets, and at this point there are 2 pallets of Ken's barbecue sauce. And these 2 pallets of Ken barbecue sauce, because they were so heavy in the way that they stacked them, and they did not have them shrink wrapped, the very bottom of the bottles imploded and spilled Ken's barbecue sauce all over the trailer. The receiver wanted me to clean it. I said, you can take it off. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. Now, this is the day before Memorial Day. Loader's only paying $800. So they declined the whole load. And I have to sit all of Memorial Day. The next day, I have to go to have them rework it and clean the trailer because it was just a disgusting mess. Barbecue sauce everywhere. And I ended up being negative $600 that week. Didn't go home, had a claim, got to be worked, and I ended up being negative that week, $600. Now, mind you, the last week I didn't make any really money, made $1,000 after taxes, $500. That week I was negative. So now you're talking about pretty much 3 weeks of negative revenue. You got bills at the house, things of that nature. So I didn't get a load that goes up to Ohio. I take the load that goes up to Ohio. I deliver. Then they give me another load. I have to deadhead up to Michigan to pick up a load there. And that was what broke the camel's back. If you want to know and you want to hear part 2, like, subscribe, and share, and hit comment, I want part 2. And I'll bring you part 2 of my reasons of why I had to leave Prime and why I felt like Prime, at the end of the day, bent me over and clapped my cheeks after 5 years.